So today I wanted to do a video on some of the books that I carry, or I have. Wanted to do this for Haas. He was kind of asking some questions on what books, at least for plant ID and things like that I have. So that's not all on plants that I got here I was going to show. I thought this is not all my books either, but just some of them that I kind of reference back to more often than others. But start with my two favorite books on wild edibles, and they're both by the same author of Samuel Thayer. I don't know if you can read that right down here. Yeah. And this is the Foragers Harvest. Now, not all these plants grow here, but what I do like about it is it goes in great detail in every page of the different growing seasons of it, and how to harvest it, and what parts of it to harvest. A lot of things you won't find in a lot of other books. It's just a great book. It even tells you some of the poisonous lookalikes, like this right here. Let's see if you can see it. I don't know. It's kind of bright outside, so it's not wanting to focus properly. Yeah, that's horrible. The sun is so bad today. Anyway, the Foragers Harvest. I highly recommend this book, and basically as a companion book, The Nature's Garden. I mean, to give you an idea, in this book alone right here, it has 50 pages just on acorns. And it goes in great detail on how to process them, how to cook this stuff, the different seasons for the different plants, like this right here, of when to expect it. It's got a nice chart there. Great books, really good books. Some of my other books that I have, I buy these books in pairs, kind of like Wild Edible Plants, the field guide here. I do like these books highly, and I've got a medicinal and edible plants. And what I like about it is the nice colorful pictures that they put in here of the different plants. This might be a bad day to be filming. Shoot. Like plantain. And let's see here. It also shows the shape of the plant. Like in this one here, the mint family, it shows on the bottom here that the stems are square. It has a little cut-off section in it. And these are all hand-drawn pictures. They're not the actual pictures, but it's pretty nice. I like also these, probably don't have them all here, but oh, I have the Eastern and Central North American medicinal and edible wild plants books. I do like these too, because they have a lot more plants in here, and you know, a lot of plants are hard to ID in the winter. Actually, they're very hard to ID in the winter. But it has it set up to where you can cross-reference the color of the flower. Like up here in the top corner it says white, and that's referencing the color of the flower. And then they'll go to the yellow flowers, like in here, and so on. And also on, let's see here, the other side of the page, it'll dictate how many flowers or petals there are, things like that. Now these are all drawn in pictures too, but they're pretty good. Some of these books have a few colored pictures in there, which to me, colored pictures are priceless, to be honest with you. It's so hard to ID some of this stuff. The medicinal book, in the back of it, it has a list of symptoms that you can use to help you figure out what plants will do what. And I do like that about this book. That part is pretty neat, because even like I don't know, poison ivy. It has probably 20 different plants or so. I don't know exactly, but it's quite a few different listings of plants and how to remedy the problem. Some of these books I have are pretty old, that I've gotten from an old master gardener, and this is a book on trees. It's pretty neat. It's just, it's a not too thick of a book on trees. I need to learn that quite a bit. I haven't studied trees that much, but some of my other earlier books that I purchased was Medicinal and Edible Wild Plants of the Prairie. Now this particular book was more centralized just for Kansas. As you can see on the back of the spine, maybe it says Kansas right there. So that's where I'm from, but I actually found it pretty hard to ID plants through this, but it does give you a good listing of referencing of how they got their information. It's all hand-drawn stuff in here. I've got an old book here that I got also from the Master Gardener, was Weeds of the West. And this book is very thick. I mean, you can see, I hate thick books, but this book is nice because it does have pictures of the plant as it is in its full form, close-up pictures of things, and usually a picture of it when it's young, when it's first sprouting. And that's pretty neat. And it tells you shortness of it. And what I like to do is cross-reference from one book to another book that I already have. Also have this Roadside's Wildflowers book, because when I'm looking at a plant, I'll just go out and take pictures of plants, is what I like to do, and then take that picture, because I've seen it in the natural. I'll write on the back of the picture, I'll go ahead and develop them, and write on the back of the picture where I found the plant at, and what time of the year it was, and also my guess of what it might be. Then I'll go over one book to the next until I feel comfortable that's what the plant is. Definitely don't put the stuff in my mouth until I feel very comfortable of what it is. This is another real old book. It says Weeds of North Central States. This is a very old book. So old that it actually lost its binding. And this book is very detailed in some of its drawings. And it shows the region where the plants come from, things like that, what the seed pods and things will look like. Kind of like that book, but it's had its use, that's for sure. And another deal I like actually is just a brochure from the state of Kansas, I guess it is, that has different plants all on it. It takes a picture of the flowers, because this is a pamphlet on the wildflowers, but it tells you what it is, and a lot of the stuff that you ID is way easier to ID off of the flower. The flower itself is very important on IDing plants, at least for me, for sure, because there's so many plants that look alike, but the flower will dictate what it is. Another book that I have just been reading, this is nothing to reference book, but it's Hiking Through. I'm kind of enjoying that. It's kind of a life story. I guess I really like that book kind of because I have this dream of possibly hiking the Appalachian Trail someday, through hiking it. But I have children, so that doesn't seem practical at the moment, because they're kind of young. Oh, what's some other books I got here? Oh, Camping and Woodcraft. Wow, this is a book. This is a 2-volume book, and this book is thick. I haven't even got close to getting through this book because my attention span's pretty bad. I actually absolutely hate reading, which might be surprising since I have so many books, but when I get interested about something, I pretty much dive in full head, I get pretty interested in it. Some of the pictures I take, this will show you just a deal from Walmart. And I just go through and take picture after picture of different plants. Some of these aren't very well developed, but always trying to do it when they're flowering, because that's the only way that I've found that works great. I usually take a picture of the flower, and then right after that picture I'll take a picture of the stalk, and then any leaves or anything that's characteristically different than any other plant that I've seen. That sand plum, I mean, there's just so many different, there's so many plants. It is. But you know, there's a lot of these that are not just here, they're everywhere. It's kind of fun to me, to be honest with you. I'll just go drive the country road and pull over on a spot where I start seeing flowers or something like that. Like here's a pretty one. I don't have a clue what this one is. Yeah, it probably doesn't come in very good on the film, but neat flower there. I haven't figured out what that one is yet. There's just so many of them. There really is. It's kind of a hobby of mine. I mean, there's that one. I think that one's elderberry. Didn't write that one down, but there's just so many of them. Anyway, I just thought I would show you guys that. It's kind of my passion at this moment. I definitely don't know, not even 3/4 of the plants. There's so many of them. A lot of them I'll see, I recognize them, and I know somewhat whether they're edible or not, or listed that way, but I can't remember the names of them. It's overwhelming. It really can get that way. So that's why I list them with the pictures. And to be honest with you, I have a notebook that I want to post these in there and label them that way, but I just haven't got around to doing that. But well, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of this. I have other books, and if you guys have any questions on the different books, feel free to ask. It's just, you know, there's so many books out there to buy. To be honest with you, a lot of these I bought because I thought, you know, I wasn't getting the information I thought I needed or wanted out of one particular book, and then I'd buy another one. And once I bought one, I thought I had to buy the series, and what I consider a series is the medicinal and the edible part of it. Because some of the plants are edible and some of them are only medicinal. There will be differences, but it's a beautiful day out, nice and snowy. So, anyway, you guys enjoy.